This video is sponsored by BetterHelp.
Hi besties, so before we go any further into this reading vlog, I want to talk about the sponsor of today's video, which is BetterHelp. How is your mental health doing? Honestly, how is it doing? Because I feel like sometimes things just get a little bit too much, and that is totally okay. BetterHelp has customized online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist, so you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. BetterHelp has 20,000 plus therapists that you can choose from, so let's talk about getting started with BetterHelp. It is such a simple process. You can just fill out a questionnaire to help assess your specific needs, and then you can get matched with your therapist in under 48 hours. Then you can schedule secure video and phone sessions, plus you can exchange unlimited messages, and everything you share is completely confidential. And another feature that I absolutely love is that you can switch therapists at any time at no extra charge, because sometimes a certain person is just not the right fit for you, and that is okay. So if you want to join the 3 million plus people already using BetterHelp, you can use my code betterhelp.com/perfectpaperbacks for 10% off of your first month. I will leave the link down in the description box. That is betterhelp.com/perfectpaperbacks for 10% off of your first month. I am a big fan of self-care. I'm a big fan of taking care of yourself and looking after yourself. What I want you guys to do is let me know down in the comments, what is your favorite way to take care of yourself, or your favorite way to practice self-care. Personally for me, I like to get cozy on my bed or on my couch, put on an ASMR room, light a candle, and grab a romance book, which is why I thought that this video was perfect for today's sponsor, because reading romance books, it is self-care for me, and today's sponsor is all about self-care. Thank you so much to BetterHelp for sponsoring. Let's get back into the video. Hey guys, my name is Em, and welcome back to the start of a brand new reading vlog. In today's video, I am going to be attempting to read 7 romance books in 7 days. Now, if you've watched my last couple videos, you might be thinking, Emma, didn't you say you were in a horrendous romance book slump? Like, you haven't wanted to pick up a romance book? Yes, I did. Yes, I did say that. Yes, I was. However, we are currently in a heat wave. We're almost at breaking a record for the hottest it's ever been in Ireland since 1887. So that type of weather calls for reading romance books. So yeah, I am going to attempt to read 7 romance books in 7 days. I don't have like a TBR set in stone because there's no point. I'm a mood reader, but I do have a big stack of summery romances here and beachy reads that I have saved for specifically this moment. But yeah, I am going to show you the books that I am going to read. I've actually already finished my first book, which I will talk to you about in a minute, but I was literally reading all morning, but I didn't get a chance to do the intro until now. Let me quickly show you the stack of books that I potentially may be reading this week. So the first one that I have is The Infinity Between Us by Ns Perkins. I actually think that this is going to be my next read. Most of the plots on these books are actually the same. This follows these 2 characters who used to spend the summer together every year at the same beach house, and then something happened that made them stop speaking, and they haven't seen each other for like maybe 10 years, 5 years, I really don't know the timeline. And then she has to return to the beach town when something tragic happens, and she reunites with him, and she wants to sell the house, but he's like, give me 1 summer to convince you not to sell the house, but if you still want to sell it at the end of the summer, I'll sell. And then we're also getting like past chapters of like what happened leading up to them falling out. This just looks so amazing, and it is quite short as well, so I'm very excited to read this book. Then the next book I have is Every Summer After by Carly Fortune. I feel like this is on everybody's TBR this summer. I feel like this book has a very similar premise to The Infinity Between Us, but basically all it says on the back is 5 summers to fall in love, 1 moment to fall apart. So once again, we're gonna have like past and present, beach house, romance. We love to see it. Then the next book I have is The Summer of Broken Rules by K.L. Walter. This is pretty much the same premise again. However, this time we have this family who always summer in, I think it's Martha's Vineyard. Couldn't tell you where that is, but basically in this book our main character has lost her sister, I think a couple months prior or maybe a year prior, and this is the first time she's going back to Martha's Vineyard since her sister's passing, and I think they have family there, but I think like her and her cousins, or like friends that she has at this beach town play like an epic game of like assassin or something. Yeah, they have a family game of assassin going on throughout their whole stay. I feel like this book is going to be all vibes, no plot, but I'm here for that. But yeah, this one looks really good, and anyone who's read this has said that it reminds them a lot of like Visco Girl Summer and like that kind of aesthetic. Summer 2019 was amazing. It all went downhill from there really. So yeah, I'm very excited to read this book too. Then the final book I have on this potential TBR is Hook, Line and Sinker by Tessa Bailey. This is the sequel to It Happened One Summer, or kind of like companion novel. I don't think it's like a sequel because it doesn't follow the same couple and it's just kind of like a different plot and stuff. This follows Hannah and Fox. Hannah is the sister to Piper, who is the main character in the first book, and Fox is the best friend to Brendan, who is the love interest in the first book. And yeah, basically it's their romance. So yeah, they are the 4 books that I'm thinking about reading for this vlog, but obviously like I'm gonna read 7, so there's gonna be other books thrown in there. I just haven't decided on them yet. But now let's talk about the book that I've already finished. So this morning I finished My Killer Vacation by Tessa Bailey. I literally got up at 7:30 this morning and I just read practically this whole thing. I was already a bit of the way through from yesterday. I rated it 4.5 stars. Really liked it, really enjoyed it. Not going to talk too much about it because I've already talked about my feelings in my summer ween vlog, and then I've also done a dedicated reading vlog to it for my Patreon. Yeah, I read this book, gave it 4.5 stars, would recommend for like those kind of summery holiday vibes, but also with a bit of mystery and a bit of spice as well. So really love this book, 4.5 stars, and I'm really glad that I've managed to finish one book on day 1, so that I'm kind of like already on track. And I think the next book I'm going to start is The Infinity Between Us. This book has just been calling to me for a while. It is the shortest out of the physical books I have on my TBR. I'm going to be reading as much as I can of it, but obviously I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish it or anything today. Of reading 7 romance books in 7 days. It is Monday. I am continuing to read The Infinity Between Us. Today is the hottest day of the year. I think I will be able to finish this book today because it's like 288 pages, which is really not that long, and I'm genuinely loving this book so much. I just made it to chapter 12, which is page 98, so I've now read like the first 100 pages of the book and I'm really loving it. I'm quite intrigued to find out what happened to them to make them stop talking, and I know that it's going to be quite traumatic. Like I feel like it will be a big thing rather than like the twist in People We Meet on Vacation, which just let me down so much. I feel like this one will actually have a valid reason for them to stop talking, but this book is actually giving me the exact same vibes as the Summer I Turned Pretty trilogy, which is like amazing because I loved that series so much and the vibes of it were just unmatched. So this one is giving me literally the same vibes. Like the house that I pictured in my head for the Summer I Turned Pretty is the same house that I'm picturing in this. Like it's so similar. I'm really liking this book honestly, and these are the tabs that I'm using, which are like pastel tabs. I'll leave the link to them down in the description box, but I bought them on Amazon and I'm using like the pink and the orange colors because they match the cover of this so well. I'm going to reapply my sun cream, sit back outside, and then hopefully read another little bit of this book. Also, I wanted to show you something that I got in the post. It's not bookish, but I feel like I need to show you. So I got the viral Uniqlo bag, which I've been seeing all over TikTok, and then Soph texted me last week saying that she got it and she like sent me a picture of hers, and I was like, should I buy it? And then I found out that it was only like $14.99. I don't know why I assumed it was going to be so expensive, but as soon as I found out that it was only like $14.99, I bought it immediately. And I just wanted to show you, I literally love it. It's the perfect bag for summer because it's light, it's small, but it's surprisingly spacious. Like you'd fit a lot in here. And I wanted to show you the best feature of it. Well, it's not really a feature of it, like it wasn't made for it, but it practically was for me, right? It literally fits a book. It literally fits a book. Like, hello, like, isn't that just the most amazing thing ever? And also, like, this is kind of bigger than the average paperback as well, because it's like that romance kind of paperback. Okay besties, it is now later, it is 8 p.m. and I'm on page 207 of The Infinity Between Us. I've literally got like about 80 pages left, and all through the day I was like, oh my god, I'm loving this, I'm flying through it, can't wait to finish it. But now that I've only got like a little bit left, I am terrified to keep reading, because I know that this section is going to be the thing that tore them apart, the big traumatic thing that they keep talking about throughout the book, that made them stop talking and that destroyed their lives. And by this stage I am so invested in these characters and their lives, and I'm rooting for them so much. I don't want to read something sad happening to them. I'm literally gonna cry, and I'm still sitting outside because it was 31 degrees today. It's still like really warm, it's like 27 degrees, and I'm gonna finish this right now, but I'm so scared to finish it because it's gonna be sad, but I have to finish it now because I need to know what's going on. I'm on chapter 23 and there's only 29 chapters in the book. Good morning besties, it is day 3 of trying to read 7 romance books in 7 days, and before I get into my reading plans for today, I am going to wrap up day 2 because I did manage to finish The Infinity Between Us by Ns Perkins. I just didn't get to update you. When I finished it, it was about 5 to 1 in the morning, so I was not in any state to update the vlog, but I did finish this book. I ended up really loving this book. I think from the beginning I could tell that I was gonna love it, I just didn't know how much. This was really good. Like, the vibes were there from the very first page. Like, I just knew that I was gonna like this book. It had the perfect beachy summer atmosphere. It was so perfect to be reading that on like the hottest day of the year, because I literally just sat outside with like the sun on my face and just read this book, and it was absolutely the best reading experience. It definitely added to it because I could kind of nearly forget where I was sitting and transport myself to this beach town. This was very much so like The Summer I Turned Pretty. I would literally call this like the adult version of Summer I Turned Pretty, down to some of the scenes that were in it, like they were the same, but that was not a complaint because I loved The Summer I Turned Pretty and I equally loved this book. There were some kind of dark topics in here that I wasn't necessarily expecting when I went into it, so definitely do kind of be wary of that fact that it's not like a completely happy book. Like, something traumatic has happened to them 5 years previous in order for them to kind of stop speaking and completely abandon each other. So I would say just definitely be wary of that like it does get quite sad at times. And there was a chapter in here where I actually started like tearing up, but like the conflict, as I was saying yesterday, like I was kind of worried, like, is the conflict going to be something silly? The conflict was actually really good, and I can definitely see why they would have stopped talking because of that. Like, I don't know why I'm comparing it to the conflict in People We Meet on Vacation, but that conflict made me so mad because I was like, no, you wouldn't even stop talking for a day if that happened, let alone like a few years. Like, that was ridiculous. But the conflict in this definitely made sense, and I feel like the way that it was kind of resolved was really good as well, because it wasn't like, oh, they see each other and it's just completely fine again. Like, there was a lot to kind of work through in order for them to get back to where they were. I really liked it. I think it was amazing. I loved the writing. There was so many things I highlighted in here and annotated, and honestly it felt so nice to be able to like highlight the book. And then I matched the color of my tabs. I don't know if you can see, I matched the color of the tabs to the color of the book, so they're like orange and pink, and that was so much fun to do as well. Like, I don't know what it was, but that just added to the experience. I think I'm going to give it a 4.5 star though. I was between giving it a 5 and a 4.5. I don't think it's like a full 5 star. Day 1 finished a book, day 2 finished a book, we're now on to day 3, and let me talk you through my reading plans for today. So my plan of action for today is to pick a short book for day 3's read and finish it like pretty early in the day, and then also get a start on tomorrow's read, because tomorrow I actually have a fairly busy day. So the book that I'm thinking about starting next is Liberty Falls, which is like a novella on Kindle Unlimited. I think it's like a 4th of July one. There's fireworks on the cover, so it makes me think 4th of July, I don't know. But this is like 113 pages, so I definitely will be able to finish this today. And then as soon as I finish that, I'm gonna get started onto a full-length book for tomorrow. So like even if I could make it like maybe 100 pages into tomorrow's book, that would make it so much easier to finish tomorrow. I don't know what book that's gonna be, but it's gonna be something and I'm very excited. So yeah, that is my update for right now. But I also have a lot of editing to do today and a lot of kind of like YouTube work and stuff, because as I mentioned, I'm pre-filming a little bit because I have some family coming to stay with me, so I want to be able to still upload while they're here.
Would you like to see a favourite place of hers in France?
It is now day 4 of reading 7 romance books in 7 days, and it is evening time. It is 8:10 to be exact, and I have not finished a book today, and it's kind of not looking like I will be able to finish a book today. But I want to talk to you about the book that I read yesterday. I finished Liberty Falls. Hated it. It was so bad. It was literally a waste of my time. That's how I would describe that book. Like, it was just not good. I gave it 1 star. It was so hard to get through. Like, for a 100-page book, I would have easily believed you if you said it was like 300-400 pages. Like, it felt like it was never going to end. But that was my 3rd romance book that I finished on day 3. And then also yesterday I started Love and Other Words by Christina Lauren. I don't have the physical copy for this book, unfortunately, so I started it on audio last night and I'm really into it. Like, I'm loving this book. I don't know if I'm going to be able to finish it tonight because I tend to not really listen to audiobooks in like one go, but I made it to chapter 23 and there's like 40 chapters in it, I think, so I'm probably about halfway through the book. Obviously, because it's on audio, I don't know exactly where I am, but I have got 2 hours 19 minutes left on 2x speed, so I will be able to finish that probably over like tonight and tomorrow. And then I'm going to start a physical book as well tonight in bed and then continue that into tomorrow. So hopefully I will finish 2 books tomorrow. That's my goal anyways. Besties, good morning. It is Thursday today and it is day 5 of reading 7 romance books in 7 days. So it is the morning time right now and I didn't really get to read much yesterday at all actually, and I kind of knew that I wouldn't because I know I'm always busy on Wednesdays. So I didn't get to finish a book yesterday, so that's the first day that I didn't get to finish a romance book on the day. So I'm still reading Love and Other Words by Christina Lauren. I'm on chapter 24 of that. I think I have like about 2 hours left in that audiobook, so my plan is to finish that book today, but I'm really loving it. But technically that book is yesterday's book, so I still need to read another book for today. And the book that I decided to pick up was Throttled by Lauren Asher. Honestly, I don't know why I decided to pick up this book because it's not like a summery romance or anything, but it was just calling to me. Also, don't speak about the fact that this is the cover with the man on it. I don't know why I didn't buy the cartoon cover. I was looking through like my physical romance TBR this morning and I kind of couldn't find a book that I wanted to pick up, so I just decided to pick up Throttled. Now this book is like 400 and something pages. I don't know if I'm going to be able to read the whole thing today, but I feel like if I get to like page 200 today and then I can finish it off tomorrow morning, because I am working tomorrow night, but I should be able to read while I'm there. So I just read the prologue and the first chapter. This is like a book about Formula 1 racing, which I know nothing about, so I'm hoping that that won't kind of like hinder my enjoyment of this book and this series. But I've seen so many TikToks and so many videos lately of people reading this series, particularly like the last couple books, and I want to be in on that hype. I want to know what people are talking about when they say these characters' names and like the couples and stuff. So the premise of this book is we basically have our main girl Maya, and she has just graduated college. Her brother is like a very famous Formula 1 driver. He signs up to like this really fancy team and she goes like traveling with him because she wants to start like a vlog channel or something. I I don't know. And then she meets his arch nemesis in racing, but now they're on the same team. And yeah, I'm very excited to continue reading this book. Today I actually have a lot of editing to do and also kind of a lot of like cleaning and stuff to do, so I'll be trying to listen to my audiobook when I'm like cleaning and things like that, and then I'll be trying to read this book when I'm not doing anything else. And I'm determined to get a lot of reading done today. I think if I could finish Love and Other Words today, I'd be on track, because then I could finish this in the morning and then read another book tomorrow evening. That is my update for right now. Half past 5 in the evening and I have just finished Love and Other Words by Christina Lauren. This book was everything. It was amazing. It was show-stopping. It was just a phenomenal book. Like, I honestly don't know what else to say. Like, it was just one of the best books I've read this year. I just loved it so much, and I don't even know kind of like what I loved about it. Like, it was just so good. That's all I can say about it. I gave it 5 stars. I think I've said this before, but sometimes when I'm reading a book via audiobook, when I don't have the physical copy to kind of like read along with or like check my progress and stuff, I tend to kind of not enjoy the book as much as I would if I had the physical copy as well, because I'm a little bit lost at times, or I find it hard to kind of like picture things. So sometimes when I'm listening to audiobooks, I can actually be listening to the one audiobook for like weeks or honestly months at a time. This book I finished in like 2 days, and I know I'm doing a challenge. I know I'm doing a 7 romance books in 7 days challenge, but honestly, even if I wasn't, I would have finished the book just as quickly, because it is just so good and so amazing and just so emotional. I don't know what it was, but like literally the whole way through the book I was so intrigued. It was the writing style, it was the characters, it was the setting, it was just everything made it perfect. So needless to say, I gave it 5 stars. It wasn't like a really sad book or anything all the way through, but the ending, like the last 2 chapters, wrecked me. It was so upsetting. It was so sad, and for what? I was just kind of sitting there like, did I actually just listen to that? Like, I was doing some other things while I was listening to the audiobook, and I literally just had to stop and listen to the last 2 chapters, and honestly shed a few tears. I don't even know how to describe this book, because I feel like anything that I describe won't do it justice, but it's basically about Elliot and Macy, who were like neighbors growing up, but not all the time. She had like a summer house with her dad, and they go there on the weekends and every holiday and stuff, and Elliot lived next door, and they went from like being friends to them being in love at a very young age, and then something happens and they don't speak for 11 years. And then in this book we're getting past and present, where they're reuniting after 11 years and kind of like rediscovering things, and this is the first time they've talked since whatever has happened. And then in the past we're getting like their relationship. I had a few theories in my head for what like the event was going to be, and let me tell you, nothing could have prepared me for what it actually was. Like, it was a really quick read as well. I don't know how many pages it was, because obviously I had the audiobook, but it felt like a very quick read. So yeah, I just love that book so much. I'm so glad I read it. Honestly, the reason I read it was because The Infinity Between Us, which I finished earlier in the week, was described as a mix between The Summer I Turned Pretty and Love and Other Words, and I loved The Summer I Turned Pretty and I loved The Infinity Between Us, so I decided to try Love and Other Words, and I am so glad that I did, because now I can fully confirm The Infinity Between Us is exactly like Love and Other Words and The Summer I Turned Pretty mixed together. I'm going to remember this book forever, and I do want to get a physical copy at some stage of the really pretty cover, because I need to be able to annotate it. I need to be able to kind of have it on my shelves so that I can just look at it. Elliot and Macy were just adorable. I'm gonna stop talking because I've been talking for way too long about this book. For the rest of the evening I am going to try make some progress on Throttled. I don't know if it's going to be successful, but I've now finished 4 out of 7 romance books and I'm on day 5. But yeah, I need to make a little bit of progress into this one. I don't think I'm going to be able to finish it or anything, because it is already like evening time and I do have a couple other things to do for the rest of the evening, but I will make as much progress as I can into it. But yeah, that is my update for right now. I am so happy that I finished this book. Honestly, it was just so good. I need to go chat with Lucy now, because she finished it a few weeks ago and loved it too. So yeah, I will come back to you later when I have some more updates on Throttled. Good morning besties. It is Friday today and it is day 6 of reading reading 7 romance books in 7 days. I honestly can't believe that like we're nearly at the end of this challenge. It feels like this challenge went really quickly, but I want to give you some reading updates of what I ended up reading yesterday evening, and then also what I'm planning on reading for today. So I did end up starting Throttled by Lauren Asher. I didn't end up starting it until like nearly 1 a.m. I don't know why I thought it was a good idea to start it at 1 a.m, but I did, and I actually read a decent bit of the way through. I made it to chapter 10, which is page 120. I really like this book so far. Like, I really like the characters, I like the setting, I like the kind of dynamic that we have going on. I'm really enjoying that. Obviously there's like some things that go over my head because there's like a lot of like racing terms and stuff which I know nothing about, but at the same time I'm really enjoying this book. So this is a fairly thick book, and I do have about like 300 something pages left. So I decided, instead of trying to finish this morning and then reading another physical book this evening, this will be my physical book to finish today. So I am hoping to finish this book today. But then this morning, while I was like curling my hair and getting ready and stuff, I decided to start another audiobook because audiobooks are so handy for like trying to get through books a bit quicker. And I ended up starting Under One Roof by Hazelwood, which are like those kind of novella audiobooks that she released a few months ago, and I'm already nearly finished this one. It's like 3.5 hours long and I've got 40 minutes left at 2 times speed. So I'm really enjoying this book. I'm not going to tell you too much about it, but we have our 2 main characters and they have to live together because they co-own a house and neither of them want to sell, so they have to like live together. And we have like a little bit of like grumpy kind of sunshine vibe. That's kind of all I can say about it because otherwise I will literally be spoiling the whole book. So if I finish those 2 books today, I will be on track to just read 1 book for tomorrow, which is the last day, and I'm so excited. I feel like this challenge has gone surprisingly well. But yeah, I am going to go right now. I actually am working this evening, so I don't know how much I'll be able to update you, but I will come back to you when I have more reading updates. Hi besties. Okay, it is a couple days later now and I'm coming on here to give you the final reading update and to close out this vlog. So it is actually Monday today. The challenge is over, but the last couple days just got a bit derailed, so I didn't get to really update you at all. But I did manage to finish the 2 books that I was currently reading. I finished Under One Roof by Hazelwood, which I gave 4 stars to. I don't really have much to say about that book, honestly. It was fun, it was cute, it was a novella, so like obviously there was not as much to it as there would be to a normal sized book. It was only 112 pages, but it was still really good for what it was, and it was an enjoyable audiobook. It was fun, it was cute, I liked the characters, I liked the storyline, I liked how it ended. Not overall very memorable. I can't even remember the characters' names, to be quite honest with you, but 4 stars, enjoyable read. I do want to at some stage get around to the other 2, you know. And then I did also manage to finish Throttled by Lauren Asher, which, oh my god, I loved this book so much. I actually didn't expect to love this book as much as I actually did. I gave it a 5 out of 5 star, which I was not expecting to do because I know nothing about Formula 1 racing. I had no interest in Formula 1 racing, so I really didn't think that like this book would hook me as much as it did, but it surely did, and I absolutely loved it so much. I'm now actually really interested to watch a Formula 1 race because I've never done that before, but I feel the need to right now because now I feel like I'm an expert basically. So that is all I actually managed to read during this challenge, simply because I was working Friday and Saturday night, and let me tell you about the chaos that was this weekend. So Friday night I was working and I didn't get home until 1 o'clock in the morning, and I was exhausted. I was like, oh my god, this is the tiredest I've ever been. Lies, there was worse to come. And then the next night I was working on Saturday, but let me tell you what time I got home at on Saturday night, because this is even worse. I didn't get home until close to 4 o'clock in the morning. Let that sink in. Okay, let that sink in. I was exhausted, I was dead, and then obviously like when I got home I couldn't just like go straight to sleep, so I actually didn't end up going to sleep until 5:30, and then I had to get up at 8 o'clock Sunday morning, so I got about 2 hours sleep. I didn't even get to relax yesterday, no, because I had so much to do, and I came home and I literally fell asleep for 3.5 hours. I can't tell you the last time I had a nap during the middle of the day, but yesterday I slept for 3.5 hours, and this morning I woke up and I'm under the weather. I'm not very surprised because I was just like a little bit run down, but yeah, so I didn't actually manage to start a 7th book, which I'm so disappointed in because this challenge was going so well and I thought that I was like well on track. But you know what, I'm happy with my progress that I made, and that's why I didn't push myself to read a 7th book, because I really enjoyed the 6 books that I read, and I read so much and I was just too tired. So I decided, you know what besties, you'll understand. So this is technically reading 6 books, but I'm keeping the title as 7 books in 7 days because I tried my fucking hardest, okay? I tried. So let me quickly wrap up the books that I read. I started out the week with reading My Killer Vacation by Tessa. I gave this 4.5 stars. Then I read The Infinity Between Us, which I gave 4.5 stars as well. Then I read Liberty Falls, which I gave 1 star to. Then I read Love and Other Words by Christina Lauren, which I gave 5 stars to. Then I read Under One Roof by Ali Hazelwood, which I gave 4 stars to. And finally then I read Throttled, which I also gave 5 stars. So all in all, I read 1,706 pages in a week, which I'm really happy with. Honestly, like, I finished 6 full books in a week, and that was really successful because some of them were like long books as well. Like a few of them were like 400 pages. But yeah, that is it for this video. I really hope you enjoyed. I am planning on doing more videos like this, like trying to read a specific way for a week. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, let me know down in the comments. Comment the clouds and the sun emoji if you watched to the end. Just a final reminder to click the link in the description box to get 10% off of your first month with BetterHelp, and thank you again to them for sponsoring today's video. That is it for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Stay amazing, stay kind, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye guys.